Saturday morning. We welcome you, ladies and gentlemen, to baseball on a Saturday morning. Going to be a four-game tournament. Couldn't play last night, but we'll mention we welcome you to today's education-based Indiana High School Athletic Association Varsity Boys Baseball. This radio coverage is made possible through audiosportsonline.net. That's ASO, that's Rob Kendall. Rob Kendall from The Rob Kendall Show. The Rob Kendall Show, we'll mention you can find that show weekdays, 9 a.m. to 12 noon. You can just go to robkendallshow.com. You'll enjoy Rob Kendall. So both teams have already taken their infield outfield practice. They're having a plate meeting right now. We'll mention the first game going to feature the Bishop Luers, the Knights, and the Central Catholic. The Knights, I would guess, the Knights are going to win. No pun intended. This is an 11 o'clock game. There'll also be a 1:30 contest. That 1:30 contest will include Guerin Catholic and South Bend St. Joseph. They'll have a consolation game. That will happen at 4 p.m. And they'll have a championship game this evening at 6:30 p.m. Now, we'll talk a little bit about each school. First, we'll talk about the Fort Wayne Bishop Luers Knights. They have a school enrollment of 532. They're in Class 2A, Sectional 36. There are six in their sectional. Their sectional will take place at South Adams High School. And we'll mention on Wednesday, May the 27th, a 5 o'clock game. It'll be Woodland and Adams Central. And then they'll come back on Thursday. They'll have one game on Thursday, the 28th, another 5 o'clock start, South Adams and Whitco. And then they'll come back on Saturday. Saturday, a 1 o'clock game. It'll be Bluffton and Fort Wayne Bishop Luers Knights. The principal at Fort Wayne Bishop Luers High School is Seth Coughing. He is also the boys basketball coach. We'll mention the athletic director is Kevin Mann. The athletic secretary, she was most instrumental for putting me in sports. We are thankful for Michelle North. And the athletic trainer is Claire McFarland. Fort Wayne Bishop Luers High School is located at 333 East Paulding Road. That's Paulding, kind of like Spalding, the sports outfitter, but it's Paulding Road. Fort Wayne, Indiana, 46816. You can dial them by telephone at 260 456 1261. On the web, it's Bishop Luers, plural.org/athletics. There were the colors red and black. They perform in the Summit Athletic Conference. There are 10 teams in the Summit Athletic, and they are the Carroll Cougars. Shouldn't take that back. The Carroll Chargers. That's the Carroll team out of Fort Wayne. The Fort Wayne Concordia Cadets, Fort Wayne Bishop Luers, and I got to mention, I should say Fort Wayne Bishop Dwenger. Fort Wayne Bishop Dwenger, the Saints. Their head coach is Jason Garrett, and he's good at football. He's a head coach there too. Fort Wayne Bishop Luers, the Knights. Fort Wayne Northside, they are the Legends. Fort Wayne Northrop Bruins. Fort Wayne Snyder Panthers. Fort Wayne Southside, the Archers. Fort Wayne, that's the Generals, and the Homestead Spartans. Fort Wayne Bishop Luers are currently 7 wins, 7 losses on the season. They are currently 5-3. They're in third place of 10 teams in the Summit Athletic Conference. At home, they're 4-4. On the road, they're 3-3. They have not played a neutral site game. The head coach, he was instrumental with putting me in sports. We are also thankful for Mr. Jeff Stansky. And I will mention, as you know, the next game here on this diamond at 1:30 is going to feature South Bend St. Joseph and the Guerin Catholic Golden Eagles. Now we'll mention a little bit about the Central Catholic Knights. Lafayette Central Catholic has a school enrollment of 302. They're also in Class 2A, Sectional 37. Their sectional will be played at North Montgomery High School. And there are 7 teams in that sectional. That section will take place as the others, May 27th through June the 1st. We'll mention game one at North Montgomery, going to feature the Rensselaer Central Bombers and the Western Boone Stars. Central Catholic will play one of those teams in game four. That'll happen on Saturday, the 30th, and that's when they'll play. We'll mention game two will feature Delphi and Benton Central. Game three will be Seeger and North Montgomery. Of those two games, the two winners will play on Saturday, and then the championship game will happen on June the 1st at 6 p.m. So they're getting ready for the national anthem. And we'll mention principal at Central Catholic is Dan Charleboy. The athletic director is Tim Bourdonnais. The assistant AD is Charlie Roberts. Athletic trainer is Sarah Igo. Central Catholic High School is located at 2410 South 9th Street, Lafayette, Indiana, 47909. You can reach them by phone at 765 474 2496. On the web, it's lccathletics.com. They were the collars, navy and white. They perform in the Hoosier Athletic Conference. There are 9 teams, and they are Western, Lafayette Central Catholic, Twin Lakes, Logansport, Benton Central, West Lafayette, Hamilton Heights, Tipton, Rensselaer Central. And we're going to rise for opening prayer and national anthem. We'll set this down. Players, coaches, officials, and fans safe and he just had come with integrity, encourage our teammates, honor our national anthem. Good vocalist, male voice. And I will finish up Lafayette Central Catholic. They're currently 14 wins, 4 losses on the season, and they finished 7-1 in the Hoosier Conference West Division. The Knights are 5 wins, no losses at home. They are 6 wins, 4 losses on the road, and they are 2-0 on a neutral site. The head coach for the Central Catholic Knights is Mr. Tim Bourdonnais. He is a 1987 graduate from Central Catholic High School. And I'm getting ready to play the game. Knights are out on the field. And I will mention a little bit about the Knights. First, we'll mention pitching in this game for Central Catholic is Gus Sandberg. He's a senior. He wears, I take that back. They're going to go with Caden Keller. That was a last minute change last night. It would have been Sandberg. Had rain out, serious rain last night. But they're going to play today. It is a beautiful day. He said it's going to get up to 74. And I will mention, doing the pitching today for Central Catholic is Caden Keller. Caden Keller wears number 21. He has 15 innings under his belt this season. This is appearance number 7. This is start number 5 for Caden Keller. He has faced 71 batters. He's thrown a total of 276 pitches. One win, one loss. He's given up 12 hits. He's given up 6 runs. 5 of those runs were earned. He has struck out 22 batters. 2 of those batters went down looking, and he has hit one batter along the way. Now we'll mention around the diamond. We'll mention Isaiah Hopkins. He'll do the catching, wears number 34. At first base, Colton Geyer. He'll wear number 19. Second base, number 11. That's Mikey Stapleton. At shortstop, number 3, L.J. Whitford. At third base, number 12, Alex Schumer. In left field, number 41, Brennan Van Kirk. In center field, number 2, Coy Gick. And in right field, number 31, Vince Talenko. Gus Canberg will be the DH. He'll bat in the 4 spot. He will bat for defensive player. That's right fielder, number 31, Vince Talenko. Getting ready to step in at 11:03 on the wristwatch. T-Mobile bringing this game to you. First batter, Bishop Luers Knights. Number 4, Lucas Deem. First pitch, ground ball, just foul, third base. No balls, 1 strike. Lucas Deem is the center fielder. He is the leadoff batter in today's ball game. No balls, 1 strike, right-handed batter. Beautiful day. Field looks beautiful. Grass is chlorophylled. It's mowed nicely right to left. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Swung on. He's going to pop it up on the infield. Going to be called for by the second baseman. The catch is made by Mikey Stapleton, and there's 1 out here in the top of the first inning. So next batter for Bishop Luers, the ninth, going to be the 2-hitter, number 13, Grady Johnson. He'll play right field, another right-handed batter. First pitch from Keller, outside and tall, ball 1. So 1 ball, no strikes. Here and in. Here comes the windup from Keller. Another outside pitch, ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes, 1 out. Working from the windup, here and in. Here comes the wind and the 2-0 pitch. Grady Johnson fouls it back to the screen. So we'll step back in. Here and in, looking at signal. Hayden Keller. Here comes the pitch. Across the dish, strike called. Count goes 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Grady Johnson, 2-hitter for the Bishop Luers Knights. Here comes the pitch. Breaking pitch. He'll take a long shot to left field. He's going to get over the head. Nope. He's going to track it down at the warning track. And Brennan Van Kirk catches another one deep in left field. That was at the warning track. Pretty good shot off the bat by Grady Johnson. Probably felt pretty good. So 2 outs here, top of the first inning. Stepping in, number 8, 3-hitter, Christian Brell. Christian Brell stepping in. He's a third baseman. Here comes the wind and the pitch. Pitch comes in tall, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Knights against the Knights. Out of the set, here comes the pitch. Swung on, ground ball, third base. Glove there by Alex Schumer. He'll throw a bullet across the diamond and get the put out with Colton Geyer. So no runs, no hit, no errors here in the top of the first inning. Fort Wayne, Bishop Luers, no score. We'll see the Knights bat in the bottom of the first. And we do appreciate you tuning in, and we'll mention this game is in parts being brought to you by McCormick Printing and Supply. Before we get back into action, a big shout out to McCormick Printing Impressions and Office Supplies, celebrating over 50 years of service in Tipton and surrounding communities. From team banners to business printing, custom shirts, and office supplies, MPI does it all. With the hometown service in top-notch quality, I can vouch for that. McCormick Printing Impressions, helping you make your best impression on and off the field. So right-handed pitcher on the pitcher's rubber for the Bishop Luers Knights. It is number 14, Jackson Hill. Jackson Hill on the season. He's got an ERA of 1.75. He's got 20 innings pitched this year, and he's got a 3 wins, 2 loss ratio. This is appearance number 8 on the season. He's given up 18 hits, 15 runs. 5 of those runs were earned. He has walked 5 batters. He leads the team. He has struck out 20 batters this season, and he's faced 99 batters. He's thrown a total of 331 pitches. We'll mention around the diamond for Fort Wayne, Bishop Luers, the catcher, number 99, Tom Hogue. First base, number 0, Cooper Peters. At second base, number 3, Daniel Murphy. At shortstop, number 1, Mikhail Woodson. At third base, number 8, Christian Brell. In left field, number 2, Judah Allen. In center field, number 4, Lucas Deem. And in right field, number 13, Grady Johnson. Knight's going to step in. One hitter for the night. Last few games is Isaiah Hopkins. Where's number 34? He does the catching. They'll step in, batting from the right-handed batter's box. Working from the windup, first pitch from Jackson Hill. They're going to take a pop-up on the infield, called for by the third baseman. He'll catch it in the lip of the grass. He'll step up. There's one out, and the catch is made by Christian Brell of Bishop Luers. So one out. They're in the bottom of the first inning. Going to be 2 games today for seating, and then they'll have 2 more for stepping in for the night. Number 3, L.J. Whitford. There comes the wind and the pitch. Right across the dish, fastball called strike. Jackson Hill on the pitcher's rubber. Here and in, looking at signal. Here comes the wind. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Outside, ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. L.J. Whitford in the batter's box for the night. Here comes the wind and the 1-1 pitch. A checky swing. Low in the dirt, going to get back to the backstop. Count goes 2-1 to Whitford. 2 balls, 1 strike. There's 1 out. We're in the bottom of the first. Here comes a pitch. Outside edge. Fastball called strike. Jackson Hill working quick. He's got that 10 o'clock arm slot on that delivery. That went sideways across the plate. Got the dish. Long pier, looking at signals. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. The checky swing. Pitch comes in low, ball 3. 3-2 pitch on the way. Jackson Hill, a member of the senior class. Pitching to a sophomore, L.J. Whitford. Here comes the payoff pitch. Swung on, swing and a miss. Inside half, kind of jammed him. There's 2 outs. 2 outs here in the bottom. Bottom of the second inch of the first inning. White finally checks in. The text actually came through at 11:05. So stepping in, 3-hitter for the Knights, Alex Schumer. He plays third base. Here comes a wind and the pitch from Hill. Outside and low, ball 1. 1 ball, no strike. First game of the day, there will be 4 games. Here comes a pitch. Outside fastball. He brought the MPH. Count goes 2-0. So peering in, looking at signals once again. Jackson Hill. Here comes the 2-0 pitch to Schumer. Above the zone, ball 3. Alex Schumer on the season leads the team based on balls. He has 15. Here comes the wind and the pitch. Ride down Meridian. Pass taken for a strike. Count goes 3-1 to Alex Schumer. Left-handed batter. A little bit of an open stance, not much. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Strike 2. Fastball right down the pike. 3-2 count. Senior athlete Alex Schumer. Here and in, looking at signal. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. Strike 3, going to get him on the inside half, and he'll go down looking. And the Knights are retired here in the bottom of the first inning. So Knights come up with no run. Look at the top of the second. After one complete inning, there's no score. And we'll also mention today's ball game is in parts being brought to you by the ultimate Kentucky getaway. You can escape to a one-of-a-kind retreat in the heart of the Kentucky Bourbon Trail, where rolling hills, world-famous distilleries, and unforgettable memories await. Welcome to your private six-bedroom estate set on 7 scenic acres of peaceful countryside. Spend your days exploring legendary bourbon stops, then come home to unwind in the hot tub under the stars. Challenge friends on a game of pool right there on the billiards table, and you can practice your swing on the putting green or relax by the fire pit right there. And we'll mention, and when it's time to wind down, your private movie theater is waiting. We'll also mention whether it's a bourbon weekend, family gathering, or group getaway, there's space and something for everyone. For questions or direct booking, you can text 317 442 7513. That's 317 442 7513. So Isaiah Hopkins having difficulty with that speaker attached to his jersey right there. It's actually up in the top of the strap from his chest protector and now in his ear. So he gives a thumbs up to Coach Bourdonnais. Coach Bourdonnais in the dugout. He's calling the signals, and it's a one-way communication. Working out the windup. Here's the pitch. Inside, ball one. In the batter's box for Bishop Luers, the four-hitter. Number 14, Jackson Hill. He is the pitcher of record. Here comes the pitch. Swung on. He's going to pop it up. He popped to center field. Backing up, moving to his right. A lot of air under that ball, but he sure sent it a long way. It's caught by center fielder Coy Gick. There's one out here in the top of the second inning. So stepping in, going to bat for Bishop Luers. It'll be the five-hitter number 0, Cooper Peters. He'll step in, left-handed batter. First pitch, inside half, knee high, called strike. So no balls, one strike. Here comes the wind and the pitch. Tries to check his swing. They're going to check it third base. Maybe I should mention there are 3 umpires on the crew today. Pretty special games. So he checked his swing. They checked third base ump. He said he didn't go. They'll take a drive right there, second base and first base. It'll get through the hole. A good effort. He laid out for it. Couldn't come up with it. That was Mikey Stapleton. It goes into right field, thrown back in by Vince Pelenko. The first runner in the ball game, Bishop Luers. At first base is Cooper Peters. Stepping in, right-handed batter. Number 3, Daniel Murphy. Right-handed batter. Here comes the left-handed pitch from Caden Keller. High, a little bit outside, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Here and in, looking at signal. Out of the stretch, modest lead at first base by Peters. Here's the pitch. He's taking off for second. Throw comes in, and he's going to be tagged out with no slide. The throw was on time. The throw did veer to the right of second base. Mikey Stapleton picks it out of the air and puts a tag on Peters, and there's 1 out here in the top of the second inning. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here comes the wind and the pitch from Keller. Outside of ball. 2 balls, 1 strike. Here and in, looking at signal. Here comes the wind and the pitch. Swung on, is going to pop it up on the infield. Be called for by shortstop L.J. Whitford. And yes, there were 2 outs He made that catch that is out number 3. And we played 1.5 innings. At the end of 1.5, still a no-score ball game. Bishop Luers left one runner on base. And we'll also mention today's ball game is in parts being brought to you by Lisa Stokes Bear. Lisa Stokes Bear, Century 21. She is a real estate agent with a high real estate IQ. That will work for the benefit of you. That's Lisa. Lisa specializes in residential and corporate relocations. She has a vast knowledge with more than 25 years of question answering experience. You can let Lisa look or let Lisa list. Lisa knows that each home is precious. That's Lisa Stokes Bear, Century 21. She belongs to Sheets Company, and she is highly recommended. She's a real estate agent, a real estate broker. To contact Lisa Stokes Bear by phone or by text message, you can reach her at 317 513 4086. Again, her number is 317 513 4086. So they throw the ball around the diamond, put the ball back in the hand of Jackson Hill. He steps up on the hill. He'll manicure with that right foot. With a standing spot, stepping into the night, number 30, Gus Sandberg. He's the 4 hitter. Here comes the first pitch from Hill. Swung on, swing and miss. Might have been an off speed breaking pitch. Count goes 0-1 to Sandberg. He'll step back in. Here and in, looking at the signal. 1 foot on the rubber. Here comes the pitch from Hill. Pitch comes in outside of ball. Just missed. 1 ball, 1 strike. So they called that first one a strike. Count is 1-1. Here comes the wind and the pitch from Jackson Hill. Sandberg going to pop it. Foul right side. And it's uncatchable. There's 2 strikes. Giving it a look at first base. Number 0, Cooper Peters. The 1 ball, 2 strikes. Sandberg steps back in. First batter, bottom of the second inning. Here and in, looking at signal. Here comes the wind. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. High for ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes on deck for Bishop Luers. I take that back. On deck for the Knights, number 11, Mikey Stapleton. Here comes the 2-2 pitch to Sandberg. Swing and a miss. You drop third strike. He'll take off for first base. And Tom Hogue steps to the inside and throws a strike to get the out at first base with Cooper Peters. There's 1 out here in the bottom of the second inning. And we're going to see number 11, Mikey Stapleton. He's playing second base in today's game. He's batting in the 5 spot. Working out the windup, Jackson Hill. Here comes the pitch. Inside and tight. Nearly got him. So 1 ball, no strikes. Sorry about that. 1 ball, no strikes. Here comes the pitch. Swung on, foul ball. Going to get off his leg there in the box. He's okay. 1 ball, 1 strike to Mikey Stapleton. Here and in, looking at signal. Jackson Hill. Here comes the pitch. Breaking pitch. Finish low. Ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike to Mikey Stapleton. There's 1 out. Bottom of the second inning. Here comes the pitch. Outside, ball 3. 3 balls, 1 strike. Stapleton, right-handed batter, member of the senior class. 3-1 count. Here comes the pitch. Swung on. He's going to pop it shallow right center field, backing up as a second baseman. He'll catch it a good distance out in the grass, backpedaling. Daniel Murphy with a good catch. There's 2 outs. They're in the bottom of the second inning. Stepping in for the Knights. He's doing the pitching today. 6-hitter, number 21, Caden Keller. Caden Keller, left-handed batter, facing the righty, Jackson Hill. Here comes the wind and the pitch. Foul ball back to the screen. Count goes 0-1. So no balls, one strike. He'll step back in. Peering in, looking at signal. Jackson Hill. On fear. Here comes the wind. Here comes the pitch. Swung on and take it to center field, right at the center fielder. Didn't have to move very much. Lucas Deem caught the line drive. Center field off the bat of Caden Keller. And the Knights still looking for that first base runner. Knights do not score in the bottom of the second inning. And we'll go to the top of the third. It's still a 0-0 contest here in game one. And we'll also mention this game is in parts being brought to you by Robin's Nest. Robin's Nest, that's Thorntown's Cozy Coffee Cafe. Robin's Nest, that's spelled with a Z. And reach them by phone at 765 592 1530. That's 765 592 1530. The owner is Robin Warnoff and her husband, Eric. They have a large coffee shop right there on Main Street in Thorntown. And just adjacent, just go through the door right there and you'll find their private events rental space. It's a large facility there, and they can do the catering for any party or get together you might want to have. Again, the address is 102 West Main Street, Thorntown, Indiana, 46071. You can find him on Gmail. You can send them an email. That's robinsnestcafe@gmail.com. Robins, that's his ROBINZ, nestcafe@gmail.com. Give them a call. Stepping in for Bishop Luers. 7-hitter number 1, Mikhail Woodson. Open stance. He is the shortstop. First pitch from Keller. Just outside, ball 1. Trying to paint that outside edge. It's a ball 1. So 1 ball, no strikes. Here's a second pitch. Outside, ball 2. The 2 balls, no strikes. To Mikhail Woodson. Shortstop. Out of the stat, here comes the pitch. Outside, ball 3. Caden Keller looking for that release point. He's letting go of it. Outside. Now the 2 o'clock arm slot. And a little bit too early. Here comes the 3-0 pitch. Right down meridian. Strike called. Count goes 3-1. 3 balls, 1 strike. Open stance with the shortstop, Mikhail Woodson. Here's the pitch. Swung on, ground ball. Shortstop, fielded by L.J. Whitford. He'll throw to first base. He'll get the put out with Colton Geyer. And there's 1 out here in the top of the third inning. So stepping in, going to bat for Bishop Luers Knights. Going to be the 8-hitter, number 29, Vincent Nip. Vincent Nip is the DH in the ball game. He's batting for the defensive player, the catcher, Tom Hogue. Tom Hogue wears number 99. First pitch to Nip. Swing and miss. He wanted to hold his swing up, but it was too late. Full swing, about 3/4 swing. No balls, 1 strike. There comes a wind in the pitch from Keller. Swung on, foul ball, back to the screen. Count goes 0-2 to Vincent Nip. Right fielder for the Knights, that's Vince Talenko. He's born with the name Vincent. Here comes the 0-2 pitch to Nip, swing and a miss. So there are 2 out here in the top of the third inning. And we're going to see the 9-hitter, number 2, Judah Allen. He is a left-handed batter. He's playing left field in today's ball game. Working out the windup, Caden Keller. Here's the first pitch. Outside half. Called strike. Knee high. Count goes 0-1. No balls, 1 strike. They're grilling hamburgers and hot dogs right next door. Swing and a miss. Off speed. Breaking pitch. Count goes 0-2. Jerry Bordenay, I should say. Coach's dad doing the grilling. Here comes a pitch. Swung on, swing and a miss. And he'll go down swinging, and there are three out here in the top of the third inning. The Fort Wayne Bishop Luers come up with no run and no hits, nobody left on base. And we'll go to the bottom of the third. It's still a nothing to nothing contest here in game one. And we'll also mention today's ball game is being brought to you in parts by Camino and Company. We welcome you and your patronage at Camino and Company, the mobile flower shop and wedding studio based in downtown Noblesville. You'll find Camino and Company on the north side of the courthouse square at 876 Logan Street. Camino and Company started with a dream and grew with the love of the local community. That same love for stories and celebrations now lives in Camino Coffee, your coffee with a story. Every cup is inspired by our founder's grandpa's 1984 El Camino, where Camino and Company gets its name from. Our coffee is locally roasted by our friends at Noble Coffee and Tea. Each cup carries a little piece of our journey, along with our community, and our belief that coffee always comes with a story. So, regardless if it's morning, afternoon, or any moment you need to pause, your cup is just a click away. Order Camino Coffee today at CaminoCoffee.com. Again, CaminoCoffee.com. You'll be glad you did. Bottom of the third inning, first pitch from Jackson Hill. Breaking pitch, got the dish, broke away, called strike. Into batter's box for the Knights, Central Catholic Knights, seven hitter number 41, Brennan Van Kirk. Here comes the wind in the pitch. Outside edge, going to call that one a strike. Count goes 0-2. No balls, two strikes. Brennan Van Kirk, another senior class member. Straightaway stand. Here comes a pitch from Jackson Hill. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. High and outside, ball one. Pitch number three. Count goes 1-2 to Brennan Van Kirk. It's the first batter for the Knights, bottom of the third inning. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Swung on, breaking pitch, swing and a miss. So Van Kirk will go down swinging. There's one out here in the bottom of the third inning. Stepping in for the Knights, number 19, Bolton Geyer. He bats in the eighth spot. He's the first baseman. A little bit of a closed stand. Working out of the windup, peering in, looking at signals. Here comes the first pitch to Geyer. Breaking pitch right in there for a strike. Called strike. Count goes 0-1 to Geyer. He'll step back in. Working out of the windup. Here comes the 0-1. Low for ball one. Count goes 1-1 to Colton Geyer. Colton Geyer going to step back in. Right-handed batter. Working out of the windup. Here comes the 1-1 pitch from Hill. Foul ball back to the screen. Count goes 1-2 to Colton Geyer. Colton Geyer is a member of the freshman class. He's a pitcher, a first baseman, and an outfielder. 6'4", 185. So we'll step back in with a 1-2 count. Peering over the glove, Jackson Hill. Jackson Hill over how the windup. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Inside and low. Ball two. 6'4". He shows those knees. He has those pants right above and right below the kneecaps. Here comes a 2-2 pitch. Outside the ball, count goes full at 3-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Colton Geyer. Peering in, looking to stay out of the windup. Jackson Hill. Here comes the 3-2. Hit by pitch. So he'll get hit by pitch right there, maybe the left elbow. He'll jog to first base. It's not fun getting hit with ball 4. You'd really get hit with ball 2 or 3. But he's at first base now, Colton Geyer. And stepping in for the Knights is going to be the 9-hitter, number 2, Coy Gick. And Colton Geyer gets hit by pitch for the 6th time this season. For Colton Geyer at first base. Coy Gick, the batter. Where's number 2? Right-handed batter plays center field. Working out a stretch. Now the set pickoff move. Not a bad move. B plus, maybe an A minus type of move for his first offering. Jackson Hill, Colton Geyer at first base, working out of set position now. Jackson Hill squaring the bunt, pulls the bat back. It's ball 1. Coy Dick looking to bunt strikes, pulls the bat back. It's a 1-0 count. So peering in. Look at the signals out of the stretch. Jackson Hill, long pier. Next first base out of the stretch. Now the set position. Here comes the pitch, squaring the bunt again. Is Coy Dick. He'll offer for that one. He'll come up empty. It's a 1-1 count. 1 ball, 1 strike. Coy Dick, signals given. Coach Borden. Set back in. Peering in, looking at signal. Out of the stretch, he'll look at first base. Now the set position. Jackson Hill. Here's the 1-1. Gonna pop one foul, straight back, out of play. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. For Coy Dick, there's 1 out. We're in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Knights have 1 aboard. First base runner. He's at first base. Colton Geyer. Out of the set position. Jackson Hill. Here's the pitch. Outside the ball. Count goes even at 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 1 out. Beautiful day. Shortstop Mikhail Woodson is shading towards second base a little closer. Here comes the pitch. The short out the glove. Good block by catcher Tom Hogue. Tom Hogue, he wears number 99. He is the catcher for Bishop Chittard. He's a member of the senior class. He's listed as a catcher and an infield. 3-2 count. Here comes the pitch. Dick. They're going to call him out. They're going to call him out on strike 3. And the umpire is going to motion to send Dick back to home plate, back to the dugout. He was doing great. He was doing great. The umpire entitled to a mulligan, I guess. There's 2 out. Still 1 aboard. It's a no-score ball game. So we're going to see the 1 hitter for Central Catholic once again. Number 34, Isaiah Hopkins. Hopkins is the catcher. Hopkins on the season, he's played in all 18 games, 67 plate appearances, 47 at-bats. Working out a stretch. Now the pickoff move. Out of the set to first base. Back safely is Colton Geyer. Isaiah Hopkins has a batting average of .404. .350 and take that back, .567 on base percentage. He has 19 hits. Here comes the pitch. Breaking pitch, got the dish, broke away, strike called. So no balls, 1 strike. 19 hits, that's 13 singles, 5 doubles, no triples, and he has 1 home run. Out of the set position. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Breaking pitch, outside, ball 2. I take that back, 1-1 count. I'm having trouble with my elementary education today. 1 ball, 1 strike. Or 2 out. Colton Geyer still at first base. Colton Geyer on the season, he does have 3 stolen bases. We're going to stretch, now the set. Here comes the 1-1 pitch to Hopkins. They call that one a strike. So the count goes 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strike. Stepping back in the rubber, peering in to home plate, getting a signal from Tom Hogue. Long stretch. Long stretch. He'll shake his head. Yep, we'll go with that pitch. Out of the set position will be called time. Isaiah Hopkins, a long time to concentrate and to wait for that 4th pitch in his at bat. He'll step back in after being granted time. 1-2 count. Isaiah Hopkins. Out of the stretch, now the Senate. Jackson Hill. Here comes the pitch, taking off for second. Taking off for second base is Colton Geyer. Going to be a foul ball behind home plate. Too far away from anyone to make the catch. That Cooper Peters, the first baseman, absolutely gave it a good effort. So Colton Geyer retreats back to first base. is still a 1-2 count. Isaiah Hopkins, and he'll step back in. Peering in, looking at signals. Out of the stretch. Long stretch. His check first base out of the stretch. Now the set. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Taking off for second is Geyer. And Hopkins going to foul another one, this time out of play, right side. So it'll remain a 1-2 count, third time to Isaiah Hopkins. And Colton Geyer getting some practice running to second base. He's back at first now. So Mateo Woodson still favoring second base. A little bit of a big hole there. Shortstop position for a ground ball. Here and in, looking at signals. Out of stretch, now the set. Here comes the pitch. Gonna be a ground ball, third base. Gloves it. They'll throw it to second base, and it gets wide right, goes into right field. The catch, the good ground ball right there, Christian Brell fields it to his left, had to lay out for it. We were talking about that hole. He covers that hole well. And he throws the second base just off target. And Colton Geyer rounds second and goes to third base. So a fielder's choice off the bat of Isaiah Hopkins. And he'll stay at first base due to the base running. Here and in, looking at signal. Stepping in, L.J. Whitford wears number 3 for the Knights. Sophomore athlete. 2 out. Runners on the corners. Out of set. Here's the pitch from Hill. Above the zone, ball 1. The 1 ball, no strike. L.J. Whitford, he's also played in all 18 games. 73 plate appearances, 57 at bats. He's batting .246 with a .375 on base percentage. Out of set position, Jackson Hill. Here's the pitch. Outside edge, strike called. 10 o'clock arm slot, right across the plate. Count goes 1-1 to Whitford. Runners at first and third base for the Knights. There's no score in this ballgame. We're in the bottom of the third. Knights batting with 2 outs. Out of set, Jackson Hill. Here comes the pitch. Taking off for second base. They're going to try to get in a rundown. And Isaiah Hopkins is going to go on over to second base. He'll get the stolen base. No throw by catcher, Tom Hogue. So Knights have 2 aboard, second and third base. Isaiah Hopkins at second. Colton Geyer at third base. Now going to work out a windup. Jackson Hill, a 1-2 count to L.J. Whitford. Here comes the pitch. Breaking pitch. He checks his swing. He gets hit by pitch on the left forearm. So since he checked his swing, wasn't a full swing, no strike called, he'll be hit by pitch. And L.J. Whitford is at first base, and that'll load up the bases for Central Catholic. Stepping into bat for the Knights, number 12, Alex Schumer, third baseman. They're back for the second time, bases loaded. Alex Schumer, he's played in all 18 games, 69 plate appearances, 51 at bat. First pitch, outside ball. Alex Schumer batting .392. That left-handed batter's box. .529 on base percentage. Here and in, looking at signal, out of the windup. Long Pierre, here comes the wind from Jackson Hill. Here's the pitch. Tries to check his swing. It's going to be a called strike. Strike was called verbally. That means it's a called strike. If it's called without verbiage, then it's a swing. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here and in, looking at signals, out of the windup. Here comes the pitch from Hill. Backdoor curveball, got the edge, strike called. Nicely played breaking pitch by Jackson Hill. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Schumer. Working out the windup, Schumer calls time. It's granted. A step out and a step back in. 1 ball, 2 strikes on deck for the Knights is Gus Sandberg. Here comes the wind and the 1-2 pitch. Outside a ball, count goes 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here and in, looking at signal. Out of the windup. Peering over the glove. That glove right in front of the nose. Here comes the 2-2 from Jackson Hill. Tried to check his swing. And they're going to check with the position umpire. They got 3 umpires. They called a ball, said he did check his swing. It's now 3-2. But they've got an A position umpire checking on first base because L.J. Whitford could absorb a tag. So they got third base umpire over in B position, had to visualize and call that check swing. So they're going running on the pitch. It's going to be a ground ball. Ground ball, second base. Fielded right there and lost the handle at first base. It was fielded by Daniel Murphy. And the Knights come in and score 2 runs on the soft ground ball to second base off the bat of Alex Schumer. So Schumer is now at first base. He's going to reach on air. Going to get credit for 2 RBI. It's a 2-0 contest here in the bottom of the third. Knights have runners at first and third base. Stepping out in front of the plate is Tom Hogue, catcher, giving some signal to his infield. So right-handed batter, Gus Sandberg. Working out the stretch again is Jackson Hill. Pickoff move. Quick move. Safe back at first is Alex Schumer. So Schumer at first base. L.J. Whitford at third base. Gus Sandberg in the batter's box. Jackson Hill pitching. And he'll take it to left field. It's got some air under it, and it's going to be caught by left field. Left fielder Judah Allen. That was a line shot. Left-handed player Judah Allen makes a good catch in left field. The Knights come up with 2 runs here in the bottom of the third inning. And after 3 complete innings, Knights 2, Fort Wayne Bishop Luers 0. And we'll go to the top of the fourth inning. And we'll also mention today's ball game is in parts being brought to you by Fritz and Fishers and Fritz in Noblesville, 2 car dealerships. They are celebrating 43 years in the car business. And that's in the heart of the Nickel Plate District, right there in Fishers, Indiana. They have late model cars and trucks. Each vehicle pre-delivery inspection. 2 Hamilton County locations. You can go to Fritz in Fishers. That's at 8599 East 160th Street. You can dial them up there at 317-842-2228. Or you can go to their Noblesville location. Between Noblesville and Westfield along State Road 32. And you can dial them up there at 317-773-2232. That's FritzandFishers.com. FRITZ. So again, Catholic Golden Eagles making their way into Gordon Lemming Field. They're walking in right now. And they're going to play in the second game. They'll go against St. Joseph. St. Joseph are the Huskies. I kind of like that mascot. So St. Joseph going to play Guerin Catholic here in game 2. That's scheduled to start at 1:30. Whether it does start at 1:30 or not, we'll find out. But I'm stepping into bat for Bishop Luers. He's going to be number 4, leadoff batter, Lucas Deem, center fielder. First pitch from Keller. Outside edge, strike called. Lucas Deem, he's played in 14 games. He's played in all 14, 51 plate appearances, 41 at bats. He's batting .341. Here comes the pitch. You're going to pop one. Foul territory, right side might be playable, but couldn't get to it. That was Colton Geyer. And there are 2 outs. 2 strikes on Deem. He's the first batter here in the top of the third inning. So Lucas Deem, center fielder, wears number 4. He's got a .471 on base percentage. He's got 14 hits, 13 are singles. He has 1 double. He also has scored 14 runs for Bishop Luers. Here's the pitch. He'll take it back up the middle, a base hit. So 1 hitter. He owns the only leadoff batter in this game, top of first. And he had a nice golf shot right on the money. in center field for a base hit. So stepping in, second batter, Bishop Luers, top of the fourth. Going to be the three hitter, take that back, number two hitter, number 13, Grady Johnson, the right-handed batter. He's the right fielder. Here's the pitch. Backdoor, I should say, curveball. Off speed, strike one. Grady Johnson, he's played in 13 of the 14 games. This is the 15th game of the season for Bishop Luers. Alvis said, Caden Keller, here's the pitch. Swung on, ground ball up the middle and be fielded by L.J. Whitford. He'll toss it there, second base. They'll go 6-4-3. Mikey Stapleton makes a good throw to first base. Colton Geyer gets the put out. And Lucas Dean peeled off, got out of the way. That's the way the IHSAA and the baseball rules want you to do it. Peel off or slide. Don't go into second base straight up, or both runners will be out, even if the out is not recorded at first base. So first pitch, swing and a miss in the batter's box for Bishop Luers with two outs. Number 8, Christian Brell. Christian Brell has played in all 14 games. Backdoor curveball misses outside. Christian Brell, he's got 50 plate appearances, 44 at-bats. He's hitting .409. That right-handed batter's box, a .480 on-base percentage. Swung on, foul ball, back to the screen. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Christian Brell, three-hitter, plays third base for the Bishop Luers tonight. He's going to step back in with a 1-2 count. Now the windup, here's the pitch from Keller. Swung on, swing and a miss. And they're going to throw him out on strike. And that's going to complete the top of the fourth inning. Bishop Luers come up with no runs. And the Knights are going to bat in the bottom of the fourth after 3.5. Central Catholic 2. Bishop Luers 0. And we'll also mention this game is in part being brought to you by Discount Copies. Discount Copies. They're in Noblesville. They're located at 100 Mensa Drive, Noblesville, Indiana. They're right there. They're just behind Pizza Hut and next to Bowl 32. Discount Copies, they're open Monday through Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. They're closed weekends and holidays. You can stay up to date with Discount Copies on TikTok, Facebook, or Instagram. You can also send them an email. You can email them at discountcopies96@gmail.com. Discountcopies96@gmail.com. Or you can go online, find out a whole lot more information at discountcopies-in.com. That's discountcopies-in.com. They offer a wide variety of services. And it's never too early to think about personalized Christmas cards. If you have a wedding coming up, they can do all of your wedding printed needs. So stepping in for the night, right-handed batter, Mikey Stapleton. He played in all 18 games, 66 plate appearances, 51 at-bats. First pitch from Jackson Hill. Last time at the plate, Mikey Stapleton got hit by a pitch on that left elbow. That one comes in tight also. It's a 1-0 count. There comes the wind and the pitch. Swung on, swing and a miss. So 1 ball, 1 strike. Mikey Stapleton, 373 batting average, 492 on base. He's got 19 hits, 14 are singles, 3 doubles. He has 2 triples, leads the team. It's going to be a foul ball. Sexy swing and went off the bat. Might have got the knob. That is a rare occurrence if I got the knob, but it definitely got the bat. So it's sexy swing. It's called strike because it's a foul ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Peering in, looking at signals. Out of the windup, here's the 1-2 pitch. Swung on, foul ball, right side. Right there above the Knights' first base dugout. Knights wearing the white pants, the dark blue jerseys with the blue socks on deck for the Knights. Caden Keller. Here and in, looking at the signal. 1-2 pitch on the way. Second time, here comes the pitch. Swung on, ground ball. Shortstop. He lays out for it, gloves it. Couldn't come up with it. It rolls on in to left field. Picked up by Judah Allen. But a great effort at shortstop by Mikhail Woodson. Going to get credit for an infield hit. I should say it goes on into the outfield. It's going to be a base hit off the bat of Mikey Stapleton. He's at first base. Stepping in, left-handed batter, Caden Keller. Caden Keller wears number 21. Doing the pitching in this game for the Knights. Central Catholic Knights. Here comes the pitch. Swung on and take it to right field. Going to bounce in there. One hop into the glove of Grady Johnson. It's off the back end, hit the cutoff with Daniel Murphy. And Knights have two aboard. The home plate umpire covers third base in a heartbeat with a three-man mechanic. So jogging off the diamond is Caden Keller. He'll give way to a courtesy runner at first base for the Knights. I believe it's 27, Keegan McCarter. So bases loaded for the Knights. In at first base is Cooper Peters. Nobody to take that back. Runners at first and second base for the Knights. Third batter in the box here in the bottom of the fourth inning is Brennan Van Kirk. Out of the set position. He'll check second base. Here's the pitch from Hill. Van Kirk going to put a bunt down. Back to the pitcher. He'll field it. Nobody at first base to cover the bag. And the ball's thrown anyway by Jackson Hill. And it goes in the bullpen area. And they're going to dive in. Head first slide. And 2-run score on the bunt attempts. It's going to be a fielder's choice coming in to score for the Knights. Keegan McCarter. And also coming in to score, Mikey Stapleton. So 2 runs in here in the bottom of the fourth. Timeout on the diamond. Fort Wayne Bishop Luers is going to walk out, talk with the infield. And at second base now is number 41, Brennan Van Kirk. He reached base, yes, on a fielder's choice. Ball was thrown away. He takes second on the misplayed baseball. He's at second now. He'll get credit for 2 RBI. And timeout on the diamond. Right there as they talk this over, and we'll also mention this game is in part being brought to you by Scott Gashaw. Scott Gashaw, he tells us when time is good, when you share, you should. Share and share alike. Support Indiana middle school and high school athletics. And Scott Gashaw, he's a Tipton native. Scott Gashaw, he wrestled and played football for Coach Mike Toll. So they're going to ask for a protector down the bullpen area, left field line for Bishop Luers. And going to go down, take a glove and a helmet. And they stop the game for that, make sure everybody's safe. So stepping into bat, Colton Geyer for Central Catholic. Peering in, out of stretch. Jackson Hill now out of the set. He'll check second base. First pitch to Geyer. Strike called inside edge. Count goes 0-1 to Geyer. Colton Geyer, he's played in 14 games, 43 plate appearances, 35 at-bats. Colton Geyer batting, 286. Out of set, Jackson Hill. Here comes the pitch. Breaking pitch. Going to get by the glove of Tom Hogue. It'll veer left over by the Bishop Luers dugout. And Brennan Van Kirk takes third base on the misplayed baseball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Van Kirk at third base, no signal given. Colton Geyer, his on base percentage is .419. Here comes the wind. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Swung on. Second base. High hop is going to get over. And a base hit going to roll into center field. Going to be an RBI single off the bat of Colton Geyer. Coming in to score from third base is 41, Brennan Van Kirk. So still nobody out. Stepping in for the Knights. Going to step in, going to bat in the 9 spot, at least this time. Number 44, Chase Hiddle. Chase Hiddle, a member of the sophomore class, 6'3", 205. Working out a stretch, Jackson Hill. Checks first base, now the set position. First pitch to Hiddle. Swung on, full swing, foul ball. Out in front of the Bishop Luers dugout. So no balls, one strike. 0-1 count to Hiddle. He'll step back in. Nobody out. 0-1 count to Chase Hiddle. Out of set. Long set. Here comes the pitch. Healthy cut. Swing and a miss. Count goes 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes. Looking at signals, very few given. Coach Bordney. Time out there for a moment. Tom Hogue adjusting the shin guard. Everybody's ready. 1 ball, 2 strike. Runner at first base for Central Catholic is Colton Geyer. Working out a stretch, looking at signals. Jackson Hill. Now the set position. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Low for ball 2. Count goes even at 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Knights have 3 runs in here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Out of stretch, now the set. Jackson Hill. Here comes the pitch. Swung on, swing and a miss. They'll go down swinging, and there's 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th inning. So Knights are going to step back in with their 1 hitter. Isaiah Hopkins, 3rd time at the plate in this game. Isaiah Hopkins going to step in with those 19 hits, 13 singles, 5 doubles, 1 home run. He's got 9 RBI. He has scored 6 runs. He doesn't run the bases all the time. He gives way to courtesy runners. First pitch comes in, breaking pitch, evidently just above the zone. 1 ball, no strike, signals given. Bullpen activity down the left field line for the Bishop Luers Knights. Right-handed pitcher, second pitch. And Hopkins, again, up just above the zone. 2 balls, no strike. 1 foot in the box, 1 foot out, signals given. Coach Bordney, 2-0 count. Isaiah Hopkins out of the stretch. Now the set, Jackson Hill. Here comes the 2-0 pitch. Foul ball. He's full swing back to the net. Count goes 2-1. So 2-1 count. 34, Isaiah Hopkins. Isaiah Hopkins, a member of the junior class. Peering in, looking at signals out of the stretch. Check first base. Colton Geyer. Out of set. Colton Geyer taking off a second base. Going to be a pop-up on the infield. Geyer's going to have to get back. It's going to be a foul ball, and it's going to be caught by 14, the pitcher, Jackson Hill. So Jackson Hill traveled a long way. He caught about halfway between the dugout and the first base line in foul territory. There are 2 out. So Colton Geyer back to first base. He had to hustle because Jackson Hill was on his horse to tag him out. Safe at first is Geyer. So 2 outs stepping in for the Knights. L.J. Whitford. L.J. Whitford, 2-hitter. I think 46 with a 375 on base. Here's the first pitch. It's low, ball 1. Sun coming out. Feels good. They say like 75, 77 degrees. They say this is going to be the warmest day of the next 7 days we'll see. We'll see middle 60s and lower. Here comes the pitch. Strike called. Outside half. Called 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Bottom of the 4th, the Knights have 3 runs in. It's a 5-0 contest. Out of set position, Jackson Hill. Here comes the pitch. Taking off for second again is Geyer. And the throw comes in just behind Geyer reaching second base. So working there on the diamond. We'll see if we can capture the count. At 2-1 on the scoreboard. Here and in, looking at signals out of the stretch. Jackson Hill. Now the set position. He'll check second base. Woodson and hovering right there. Pitch comes in. Strike called. Right down Meridian. Look to be thigh high. Count goes even at 2-2 with 2 outs. And Colton Geyer at second base. Here and in, looking at signals. Jackson Hill. Now out of the set position, checks second base. It comes the 2-2 pitch. Going to strike him out outside edge. So L.J. Whitford will go down looking. And Fort Wayne, Bishop Luers get out of the inning. The night before the Knights, Central Catholic Knights come up with 3 in the bottom of the fourth. After 4 complete, Central Catholic 5, Bishop Luers 0. And we'll also mention today's ball game is in parts being brought to you by Indiana Beach. Indiana Beach, that's right there in Monticello, Indiana, pretty close to Twin Lakes High School. They have an amusement park and a water park. You can find them on the web. Just go to indianabeach.com. They have season passes available for the year 2026 for this whole summer. One season pass, only $77.99. Or you can bring last season's pass in. You can give them that pass for just $71.99. You can come up with a 2026 pass. They have roller coasters. They have boat ride. You can spend the whole day at the water park. They have 50 plus rides and attractions. And yes, there is more than Corn in Indiana. That's Indiana Beach. Indiana Beach celebrating their 100th anniversary, celebrating 100 years of fun. You can park side lodging right there on Lake Shafer. They've got the Madam Carroll. That is a beautiful vessel right there on the waterway. And Indiana Beach, they also have KOA campgrounds. You can call them 574 583 4141. That's 574 583 4141. That's Indiana Beach, located at 5224 East Indiana Beach Road, Monticello, Indiana 47960. Now doing the catching for the Knights, number 7 for Rendon. First pitch comes in high and away, ball 1. The Bishop Luers Knights 4-hitter. The pitcher, Jackson Hill. Here comes a wind into pitch from Keller. Again outside, ball 2. Jackson Hill on the season, played in all 14 games. He wears number 14. Here comes a pitch. Strike called outside edge. Jackson Hill on the season, 49 plate appearances, 32 at bat. That tells me that he's a patient hitter. Here comes a pitch. Above the zone, ball 3, 3-1 count to Hill. He's batting 406, 592 on base percentage. Here comes the 3-1 pitch from Keller. He'll take it to right field. He's going to drop in a base hit. Jackson Hill gets himself aboard. He's at first base, nobody out. Top of the 5th inning. Next batter will step in. Poor Bishop Chittard. Going to be the 5-hitter. I should say Bishop Luers. I hope I haven't said Bishop Chittard too many times. That was the Knights' first game of the season. I left my iPad in the press box, had to go back at 10 o'clock the next morning. Here comes a pitch from Keller. And put a bunt down. Third baseline, it's fair. Right on the line. Cooper Renback steps in there, picks up the baseball about 15 feet from home plate. That bunt was right on the third base line. But he throws a strike to first base. But mission accomplished. They move the runners. And Jackson Hill, the lone runner, he's at second base now. So stepping in, Bishop Chittard. I should say Bishop Luers. Beg your pardon. Knights fans. And I'm a Knights fan too. Both of them playing in this ball game. So the home plate umpire are going to walk out. Going to break up this catcher pitcher meeting as they iron out some signals with Cooper Renback and Caden Keller. So stepping in for Bishop Luers Knight is number 3, Daniel Murphy. Right-handed batter, open stance. Check second base. Here's the pitch. Inside, going to get him. Got him in the box right there. So he'll remove that lower leg apparatus and jog to first base. So Daniel Murphy also on board, along with Jackson Hill at second. So 1 out here in the top of the 5th with 2 runners on. Coach Bordnay going to walk out and have a conversation with his infield. And I will also mention today's ball game is in parts being brought to you by Round Tripper. That's Round Tripper Academy, the premier academy for baseball training. It's in Westfield, Indiana. You can go online at roundtripper.com. The owner is Chris Eastep. Chris Eastep, if you didn't know, he's the head baseball coach at University Trailblazer High School on 116th Street. Round Tripper Sports Academy opened its doors in the fall of 1993. The vision was to become the premier facility for baseball training in central Indiana. And it has done just that. We'll finish that up in a moment. So back to baseball. Peering in, looking at signals. Caden Keller. Daniel Murphy at the plate. 2 aboard first and second. Here's the pitch. He's going to put a bunt down. It's going to go foul. Pitch might have been a breaking pitch. It was an inside pitch. He was basically fighting it off, and he fouled it off. Couldn't get the bat back. Count goes 0-1 to Daniel Murphy. You take that back. Mikhail Woodson. I'm getting all discombobulated. We'll mention in the batter's box is Mikhail Woodson. At first base is number 3, Daniel Murphy, along with Jackson Hill at second. Backdoor curveball in there for a strike. Count goes 0-2 to Mikhail Woodson. Mikhail Woodson, 13 games he's participated in. 46 plate appearances, 34 at-bats, batting .265 with a .409 on-base percentage. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Swung on, full swing, ground ball. Shortstop going to make the catch there, but L.J. Whitford was definitely shading second base. He was hovering second base, and that's going to be an infield hit off the bat of Mikhail Woodson, and that's going to load the bases for the Bishop Luers Knight. So with 1 out, stepping in, number 29, Vincent Nip. He is the DH, batting for the catcher, Tom Hogue. Here comes a pitch. Pitch comes in, full swing, foul tip in the glove of Renback. Strike 1. So no balls, 1 strike. Peering in. Looking at the signals, out of stretch. Here comes a pitch. Swung on, fouled back to the screen. Right on time. Just underneath the baseball. No balls, 2 strikes. 1 out. Peering in, looking at the signal. Out of stretch, here's the pitch. Swung on, swinging a miss. So Nip will go down swinging, and there are 2 outs. There's a little time right there on the surface. We're going to insert a batter here in the 9 spot. It's going to be number 21, Garrison Berg. Garrison Berg is a member of the sophomore class. So Garrison Berg, right-handed batter. He's going to step in. You're getting a chance to play here in a varsity game. According to my notes, he is going to play here, right-handed batter. And the home plate umpire making his adjustments on his scorecard. And we're ready to go. Bases loaded. 2 outs. Top of the 5th inning. Here and in, looking at signal. Out of stretch. Now the set. Here's the pitch. Swung on, swing and a miss. Nice, healthy cut right on time for number 21, Garrison Berg. Hearing it, looking at signals once again. Garrison Berg, he's a second baseman, an outfielder, and a pitcher. Swing and a miss. Count goes 0-2. So no balls, 2 strikes. Berg, right-handed batter's box. We're going to stretch. Now the stat. Here comes the 0-2. They're going to call it balk. Caden Keller did not come to a discernible pause. And that's a good call by the middle umpire. That was a third base umpire. He's in C position. And there was no pause there. And my son in college, he let me know. Dad in college, they don't really balk you for no pause. Because in college, my son tells me he pitched at Marion. He says, if you set position, then you must have paused in there somewhere. Here comes a pitch. It's going to pop one. Foul ball. It's going to float right side out of play. It's going to remain 0-2 to Garrison Berg. And then I give up a run on a balk, and that's the first balk on the whole Knight's pitching staff this season. Peering in, looking at a signal. Caden Keller. Here comes the 0-2 pitch again. Ground ball up the middle. Be fielded by L.J. Whitford. He'll throw to first. He'll get the put out. He nearly fielded that behind second base. Not quite. But they'll get the put out at first base for the third out here in the top of the fifth. Fort Wayne Bishop Luers put 1 on the scoreboard. It's now a 5-1 contest. And we'll go to the bottom of the fifth inning. And we'll go ahead and finish this up around Tripper. We'll try it again. Brown Tripper Academy. That's the premier academy for baseball training. It's in Westfield, Indiana. And then roundtripper.com. That's owner Chris Estep. If you didn't know Chris Estep, he graduated from Carmel High School in 1985. He was drafted by the Pittsburgh Pirates. He did play for them. He played for other ball teams. I think he played 6-7 years, if not more. But we'll mention Round Tripper Sports Academy. They opened their doors in the fall of 1993. The vision was to become the premier facility for baseball training in central Indiana. 30 years and tens of thousands of student athletes later, they have become a mainstay for elite athletes throughout the Midwest and central Indiana. Their mission has been to help every athlete reach his or her potential, fullest potential. And you can reach them by phone at 317-896-2900. Again, 317-896-2900. Or for information, go to info@roundtripper.com. We're working on the pitcher's mound now, right there, for Bishop Luers. Going to be number 21. 21, Garrison Berg. He was inserted in the 9 spot. He batted. Now he'll pitch. Garrison Berg, he's thrown 2 innings on the season. He's got an ERA of 3.50. He's got 1 win, no losses. This is appearance number 2. He's given up 2 hits, 2 runs. 1 run was earned. He's walked 2. He struck out 1 hit by pitch. He's faced 11 batters. He's thrown 38 pitches, getting ready to throw his 39th pitch on the season. In the batter's box, Alex Schumer. Here's the pitch. Healthy cut, swing and miss. Schumer takes a good cut at that one. That was his cut. Schumer leads the team with 20 hits on the season, 12 singles, 6 doubles, and 2 home runs. Here comes the pitch. Strike call. Taken for a strike. Count goes 0-2 to Schumer. So he'll step back in, peering in, looking at signal. 21, Garrison Berg. Here comes the pitch. Outside of ball. Little chase pitch, nothing doing for Schumer. Count goes 1-2. Peering in, looking at signals, out of the stretch. Thought of as a relief pitcher, pitching from the stretch, nobody on. Here's a 1-2 pitch. Low for a ball. Good block by catcher Tom Hogue. And he'll step back in. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here and in, looking at the signal. Garrison Berg. Here comes the pitch. Low and outside. Ball 3. 3 balls, 2 strikes. So first batter for the night here in the bottom of the 5th inning. The 5-1 contest. Knights in front. Time called. So Alex Schumer, granted time, he'll step back in. Harrisonburg out of the set. Here comes the pitch. Swung on and take it the other way. It's going to get down the left field line. Left fielder Judah Allen chases it down up against the wall as it goes across the warning track. And Alex Schumer, a 3-2 pitch, takes it the other way to left field. Comes up with a 2-base hit. Alex Schumer now with 7 2-base hits on the season. So timeout on the diamond. Tom Hogue going out to talk with Garrison. And jog back behind the dish. And stepping in for the night. Going to be the 4-hitter, number 30, Gus Sandberg. So Sandberg going to step in, nobody out. Bottom of the 5th. Knights have 1 aboard. Alex Schumer is at second base. Here and in, looking at signals. Out of the stretch. Now the set. He'll check second base. Here's the pitch. Low for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Gus Sandberg looking at signals. He's played in 16 to 17 games, 53 plate appearances, 47 at bat. Batting .277 with a .358 on base percentage. He fouls this one back to the screen. 1 ball, 1 strike. So 1-1 count. Runner at second base. Got himself there legitimately. It's Alex Schumer with a double. So 1-1 count, nobody out. Here's comes a pitch. Garrison Berg. Gonna be a ground ball. Third base. Good glove there on the short hop. Nice glove and a throw out to first. Christian Brell. Nice play at third. Throws across the diamond. Cooper Peters. And Alex Schumer stays put at second base. So 1 out. Bottom of the 5th. Knights are going to send to the plate number 11. Mikey Stapleton. Stapleton has played in all 18 games. He's batting .373 with a .492 on base percentage. Out of set position, Garrison Berg. There's the pitch. Above the zone, ball 1. So 1 ball, no strikes. Right-handed batter's box, Mikey Stapleton. Modest lead at second base, Alex Schumer. He's being hovered right there by Mikael Woodson. Here comes the pitch. Low and outside for a ball. Count goes 2 balls, no strikes. 2-0 count, 1 out. Peering in, looking at signals again. Garrison Berg out of the set. Here's the pitch. Going to take it the other way. Going to be a foul ball out of play off the bat of Mikey Stapleton. So a 2-1 can take that back. A 2 strikes on Stapleton. Out of the set. Here comes the pitch from Berg. Foul tip. Take that back. That was the second strike. Foul tip in the glove. Count goes 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Mikey Stapleton, a senior class member. Working out a stretch. Garrison Berg, now the set position. Here comes, I'm going to step off the back. He's going to restart. Wasn't ready to go. He controls the pace. Steps back in. Out of set position. Checks second base. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Foul ball back to the screen. So Mikey Stapleton, a right-handed batter. On the season, 19 hits entering this game. 14 singles, 3 doubles, 2 triples, 11 RBI, and he has scored 13 runs. Out of the set, here comes the 2-2 again. Short off the glove. Good block by catcher Tom Hogue. Count goes full. 3-2 count. 12:22 on the wristwatch. Bottom of the fifth. Second game scheduled to start at 1:30. Pitch comes in low and inside, ball four. So Stapleton going to jog to first base. Let's have runners at first and second base. Next, you're going to step in with number 21, six hitter, Caden Keller. Caden Keller, he's played in all 18 games, 49 plate appearances, 43 at bats. He's batting .349 in that left-handed batter's box. He's still the pitcher of record for the Knights. Out of set, here comes first pitch. He's going to check his swing. It's off the handle of the bat, a foul ball, as it caroms right away, left side near the third base dugout. So no balls, one strike to Caden Keller. One out, runners at first and second base for the Knights. Out of set position. Here comes the pitch. Inside a ball. Count goes 1-1. One ball, one strike. One out. Here and in, looking at signals. Garrison Berg came in relief here in this inning. Here's the pitch. Outside and low. Ball two. So 2-1 count. Caden Keller, he got that open stance. One out. Here in the bottom of the fifth, here comes the pitch. High and tight. Caden Keller had to kind of get out of the way of that one. 3-1 count. Three balls, one strike. Here and in, looking at signal. Garrison Berg checks second base. Here's the pitch. Inside, ball four. So Caden Keller going to jog down to first base. Then that's going to load the bases for the Knights, Central Catholic Knights. Caden Keller going to jog off the diamond, give way again to courtesy runner, number 27, Keegan McCarter. So the Knights are going to send to the plate with bases loaded, Brennan Van Kirk. They're getting ready to step in. We're going to work from the windup again. That's Garrison Berg. Infield at first base and third base. In on the lip of the grass. Here comes the wind and the pitch to Brennan. He'll pop it. Shallow. It's going to be caught. It's going to be caught by the shortstop just behind in the grass there, behind his normal spot. He'll make the catch, and there are two out. So Knights have three aboard now with two outs. Stepping in, going to bat for the Knights, number 19, Colton Geyer. Colton Geyer, a .286 batting average, .419 on base. He's got 10 hits, 6 singles. He has 4 doubles. Working out the windup. Garrison Berg, here's the pitch. Outside of ball. One ball, no strikes. Colton Geyer had 6 RBI on the season. He's played in 14 games. Working out the windup. Peering over the glove. Here comes the wind in the 1-0 pitch. Above the strike zones. Ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes to Colton Geyer. Knights have bases loaded. Bottom of the fifth. Have not scored a run. Here comes the pitch in the bottom half. Outside of ball. Count goes 3-0. 3 balls, no strikes. Geyer's a pretty good sized guy. Colton Geyer, as you mentioned, 6'4", 185. Here comes the 3-0 pitch. Strike called, outside edge. Knee high, count goes 3-1. So Garrison Berg trying to get back in the count, and he's on his way. Here and then, look at the signals. Here comes the 3-1 pitch. Swung on, swing and a miss. Garrison Berg bringing a fastball. Count goes 3-2. 3-0 to 3-2. Working out of the windup. Here comes the wind and the 3-2. Swing and a miss. Then he'll get out of the inning. Garrison Berg pitches in the fifth. Holds the Knights to no runs. Knights leave 3 on base at the end of 5 complete innings. Central Catholic Knights 5, Fort Wayne Bishop Luers 1. And again, we'll mention the game is in parts being brought to you by Camino and Company.com. Just go to Camino-and-company.com. Go to that address online. Learn a whole lot about Camino and Company. They are a mobile flower shop brought to you by local flower farmers and providers. They have small business partners and the Camino and Company founders. Their mascot is a 1984 El Camino SS, which belongs to V.E. Witham. V.E. Witham is the grandpa of the owner of Camino and Company. That is Carly Witham Elbred. And the goal at Camino and Company is to please each customer from their concept to the Camino and Company completion. Again, you can explore their website at camino-and-company.com. And they are now booking 2026 brides. If you need flowers, big or small, if you got a big wedding, small wedding, Carly and Camino and Company can provide what you need. Uh, you'll have no worries. So they put the ball back in the glove of Caden Keller. Caden Keller getting ready to pitch in the 6th inning for Central Catholic. In the batter's box for Bishop Luers, going to be the one hitter. Leadoff batter in this game, Lucas Deem. Last time, base hit, got himself aboard. Working out a windup. First pitch to Deem. Outside a ball. 1 ball, no strike. Lucas Deem, 51 plate appearances, 41 at bat. He batted 341 471 on base percentage. Next pitch comes in and they're going to call it a strike. Right down Meridian, might have been top of the zone. Count goes 1-1. Peering over the glove, here comes the wind and the 1-1 pitch. Tries to check his swing. They're going to check at first base. And it says he didn't go. Actually, when you check a swing, you're supposed to ask the umpire to check. And Rendak checked that with the first base umpire, and he didn't check it till the home plate umpire wanted it checked. So they're going to soft shot in the shallow right field, diving effort there. Couldn't come up with a catch. That was Mikey Stapleton. That's going to be a base hit. For the one hitter, number 4, Lucas Deem gets aboard again with his second hit in the ballgame. So stepping in, going to bat, Grady Johnson. Whereas number 13, he's the 2-hitter. Nobody out. Runner at first base, out of the set position. Here's the pitch. Backdoor curveball, misses high, ball 1. Grady Johnson. On the season, he's played in 13 of the 14 games. He's hitting 395, 511 on base. Here's the pitch. Inside, strike called. 2 o'clock arm slot for Caden Keller, right across the dish, diagonally. Count goes 1-1. Now the set position. Checks first. Here's the pitch. Backdoor curveball, high for ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike. Nobody out. At first base is Lucas Deem, the 1-hitter. Here comes the pitch. Swing and a miss. Evens the count at 2-2. Go back in the rubber. He works quick. Caden Keller. Now out of the set, he'll check first base. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Outside, ball 3. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Knights have some activity down the right field line. Looks like Tatum Adriano throwing some long ball right there. Here's the pitch. Outside, ball 4. So that's going to put 2 aboard for the Fort Wayne Bishop Luers Knights with nobody out and timeout on the diamond. Coach Bourdonnais going to walk out and talk with his infield. And again, we do thank you for tuning in. And again, we'll mention this game is in parts being brought to you by McCormick Printing and Office Supplies. Hey, baseball fans, let's give a cheer for one of our amazing local sponsors, McCormick Printing Impressions and Office Supplies. For more than 5 decades, MPI has been the go to place for everything printed: posters, programs, shirts, and the office supplies you could never find. Family owned, community minded, and always ready to help you knock your project out of the park. That's McCormick Printing Impressions, where quality and service are always a home run. So, walking back to the dugout, Coach Bourdonnais, 2 men aboard for Fort Wayne Bishop Luers, first and second base. Who's stepping in? Gonna be number 8, Christian Brell, third baseman. Out of sad, here's the pitch. You're gonna put a bunt down. Bunt down the third base line is perfect. It is a textbook bunt off the 3 hitters back, Christian Brell. And he's going to get a base hit, and he'll move the runners. So an infield hit on the bunt by Christian Brell. Say, well, that's a pretty good bunt, but I've seen Adam Deanhart. Uh, he does some serious bunting. I've seen him get on board 3 times with bunts in one game. Adam Deanhart. I think he went to play football. Now the sad, here comes the pitch from Keller. Swing and a miss. In the batter's box, 4 hitter, number 14, Jackson Hill. He'll step back in. Bases loaded. Nobody out. Here and in, looking at signals out of the stretch. Now the set. Here comes the pitch from Keller. Swung on, ground ball. Third base, he'll step on the bag. He'll get that out, and he'll get the out at first. They'll give up the run at home plate. Coming in to score, Lucas Deem, second run in the ball game for Bishop Luers. And a nice play at third base by Alex Schumer. So, with 2 out, stepping in, number 0, Cooper Peters. Here comes the pitch. Breaking pitch in there for a strike. So he goes to second base. A nice bunt there. And Christian Brell at second base now. Only base runner for Bishop Luers. I'm going to shot to second base. Mikey Stapleton didn't have to move. So a line shot for out number 3. The night, they give up 1 run here in the top of the 6th. We'll go to the bottom half. Central Catholic will bat in the bottom of the 6th. And after 5.5, Central Catholic 5, Fort Wayne Bishop Luers 2. And again, we'll mention this game is in part being brought to you by the ultimate Kentucky getaway. You can escape to a one-of-a-kind retreat in the heart of the Kentucky Bourbon Trail, where rolling hills, world-famous distilleries, and unforgettable memories await. Welcome to your private 6-bedroom estate, set on 7 scenic acres of peaceful countryside. You can spend your days exploring legendary bourbon stops and then come home to unwind in the hot tub under the stars. You can challenge friends to a game of pool on the billiards table. You can practice your swing on the putting green or relax by the fire pit as the night sets in. And when it's time to wind down your private movie theater, the room is waiting. Whether it's a bourbon weekend, family gathering, or group getaway, there's space and something for everyone. No crowds, no stress, just comfort, connection, and the true spirit of Kentucky. For questions or direct bookings, text 317 442 7513. That's 317 442 7513. They do all their bookings through Airbnb. Stepping in the back of the nice Chase Hiddle. First pitch from Garrison Berg is going to be a hit by pitch. So Chase Hiddle throws the bat aside. He sprints to first base. And Chase Hiddle collects hit by pitch number 3 on the season. So one runner aboard is Chase Hiddle. He's at first base. Second batter here for the Knights in the bottom of the 6th inning. Stepping in, going to be Cooper Renback. Cooper Renback, he's doing the catching for the Knights. Out of set, Garrison Berg, here's the pitch. He's going to try to put a bunt down, pulls the bat back, and it's going to be another consecutive hit by pitch. The coach is going to think about walking out. There's 2 aboard for the Knights, both hit by pitches. And Cooper Renback wears number 7, and he's been hit by pitch for the 3rd time this season. The timeout on the diamond, they're going to talk this over. And I will also mention this game is in part being brought to you by Robin's Nest. Robin's Nest, Thorntown's Cozy Coffee Cafe. And dial them on the phone at 765-592-1530. Again, that's 765-592-1530. The owner is Robin Warnoff. She owns it along with her husband, Eric. They also have private event space. And if you want to go in there in their coffee shop, they can provide you with a hot breakfast. Hot breakfast in the morning and also hot lunch in the afternoon. That's Robin's Nest. You can dial them by phone. Like I said, by 765-592-1530. Or on the web, you can send them an email at Robin's, that's a Z, Nest Cafe at gmail.com. So getting some warm-up tosses right there for Bishop Luers is number 1. He's shortstop. He's coming over from shortstop. It's Mikhail Woodson. Mikhail Woodson on the season. He's got 2 innings. He has pitched. And this is appearance number 4. And he has not given up a hit. He has given up 3 runs. They were all earned. And he has struck out 2. He has faced 13 batters. He's thrown a total of 52 pitches. So we're going to finish up some warm-up tosses. Next batter going to step in here in a moment. It's going to be number 3, L.J. Whitford. So you're going to step in now. Knights with nobody out, 2 aboard. Both were hit by pitch. First pitch and second pitch of the inning. Knights going to step in. They're 2-hitter. Number 3, L.J. Whitford, batting .246. 13 RBI. Peering in, looking at signals, out of stretch. Mikhail Woodson. Here comes the first pitch. Thought about putting the bunt down. Pull the bat back. It's a ball low. So Mikhail Woodson step back in the rubber. Peering in, looking at signals. 2 signals given by Coach Bordenay, third base coach. 1 ball, no strikes. Peering in, out of stretch. Long peer. Now the set position. Check second. Here's the pitch. He's going to square the bunt again. He'll put the bunt down. Third base side. He'll throw to first. Safe at third. Mikhail Woodson fielded it. Flipped it to third. Just behind. Safe at third for the Knights. So Knights have 3 aboard. It's probably going to be a base hit since he did not get the out. So a bunt base hit by L.J. Whitford, and the infield is in with nobody out. Stepping in, his batter is Alex Schumer. Here comes the first pitch from Woodson. Pitch comes in, outside edge, strike called. So no balls, 1 strike, nobody out. Working out the windup. Here comes a wind in the pitch from Mikhail Woodson, outside a ball, going to get by the glove of the catcher. Tom Hogue coming in to score from third base is Chase Hiddle. The other runners move up 90 feet. One ball, one strike. One run in for the Knights here in the bottom of the sixth. It's a 6-2 contest. Working from the windup. Mikhail Woodson. Hero with the glove. Love in front of the chest. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. High for ball two. Two balls, one strike. Alex Schumer, the batter, three-hitter for the Knights. Batting .392 with a .529 on base percentage. Left-handed batter facing the righty. Mikhail Woodson, here's the pitch. Swung on, base hit to right field. Going to be picked up there by Grady Johnson. Coming in to score from third base, number 7, Cooper Renback. Cooper Renback scores his second run of the season. So runners on the corners, first and third base. Still nobody out. Signals given. Coach Bordnay, several given, stepping in for the Knights, four-hitter. Number 30, Gus Sandberg. So stepping out in front of the plate, calling some signals there. Catcher, Tom Hogue. So working from the stretch, out of the stretch, you look at first. Looks at the signal. Mikhail Woodson, pickoff move, first base, throws the ball away. Nearly got the first base umpire. He was there to call a safe out. Ball goes into bullpen area. Foul fence, right side. And coming in to score for the Knights, number 3, L.J. Whitford. And Alex Schumer moves over to third base. So Alex Schumer, the lone base runner for the Knights, Central Catholic Knights. And stepping in is Gus Sandberg looking for his first pitch. Working out of the windup. Mikhail Woodson, here's the pitch. High and tight. Going to get over the glove of Tom Hogue. Coming in to score for the Knights is Alex Schumer. So still nobody out. Gus Sandberg, a 1-0 count to Sandberg. Knights have 4 runs in here in the sixth. It's a 9-2 contest. Works from the windup. Clearing in over the glove, looking at signal. Mikhail Woodson. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. High and outside, ball 2. So Gus Sandberg, 53 plate appearances, 47 at-bats. He's batting .277 with a .358 on base percentage. He's got 13 hits, 9 singles, 3 doubles, 1 triple. And the third pitch comes in high for ball 3. So 3 balls, no strikes. Gus Sandberg in the batter's box, 4-hitter for the Knights, playing DH in this game. Here's the pitch. High and away, ball 4. So he'll jog down to first base. Coach Bordnay going to make an adjustment in his lineup. Probably going to send Gus Sandberg, send somebody out to run for him. And Sandberg's going to jog off the diamond back into the dugout. And Knights are going to send out number 9, Central Catholic. And he'll run at first base. Stepping in, Mikey Stapleton. Nobody out. And in the batter's box, I should say, at first down, at first base. I guess I'm ready for football. Pitch comes in outside the ball. At first base doing the running is Lucas Gutwine, 5'6", 140. He's a freshman. Probably pretty familiar with the Hudson Gutwine. So no balls, 1 strike. Mikey Stapleton, here's the pitch. Above the zone for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Lucas Gutwine at first base. Snap throw, they couldn't get him. He gets a modest lead out of stretch. Looks at first, throws over, back in there, head first. Is Lucas Gutwine. Safe again. 1-1 count to Mikey Stapleton. Near in, looking at signals. Now out of the stat. Here comes the pitch. Healthy cut, swing and a miss. One ball, two strike. Nobody out. Bottom of the sixth inning. Knights have 4 runs in. Here in the sixth, it's a 9-2 contest. We're out of stretch, peering in, looking at the signals. Checks first base, out of stretch. Now the set. Here's the pitch. Healthy swing and a miss. So Stapleton will go down on strikes. There's one out. One out here in the sixth inning. And stepping in, we're going to see number 21, Caden Keller. Caden Keller, left-handed batter. Stepping in, batting 349, a 429 on base percentage. Looking out of stretch. Pickoff move again. Leaning just a little bit, but got back safe. Lucas Gutwine. Caden Keller, 15 hits entering this game. 8 singles, 4 doubles, 3 home runs. When you get by the glove, it's a wild pitch. Jogging over to second base is Lucas Gutwine. Caden Keller, left-handed batter, going to step back in. So Gutwine at second base. There's one out. Bottom of the sixth inning. They're going to just right there. Tom Hogue, catcher. I'm going to step back in. Caden Keller. So left-handed batting, right-handed pitcher. Out of the stretch, peers in, still in the stretch. Now out of the set, Mikhail Woodson. Pitch comes in low for a ball. 2 balls, no strikes. One out. Bases, and just one runner on base. That is Lucas Gutwine at second. Here comes the pitch. Swung on, ground ball. Going to go through the middle, second base side. Base hit, going to be in shot to plate. Safe at home plate. Didn't quite get the glove on the body. Sliding in head first is Lucas Gutwine. And Lucas Gutwine going to find his way to the stat sheet with a run scored. So, and jog back out. Caden Keller, base hit. RBI, jogs off the diamond. Out to first base is Keegan McCarter. Keegan McCarter, only base runner for the Knights, Central Catholic Knights. He's at first base. Knights have 5 runs in here in the bottom of the sixth inning. Working out a stretch. Looked at first base, out of the set position. Here comes the pitch. Outside of ball. 1 ball, no strikes. Mikhail Woodson, pretty close to a no pause on that particular pitch. Peering in, looking at signals. Out of the stretch, you'll check first base. Now the set position. Here comes the pitch. Swung on. Foul ball, going to go back out of play. So 1 ball, 1 strike. Brennan Van Kirk, right-handed batter's box. He got 60 plate appearance, 52 at-bats. He's batting 365, 433 on base. 19 hits, 17 singles, and 2 doubles. He also has 13 RBI, and he has scored 16 runs. Here comes the pitch. Swung on, ground ball, shortstop, backhands it. They go to second, wide of second, couldn't make the catch. And it's going to be a fielder's choice. I believe so. It's going to be an E6 on the throw. And Brennan Van Kirk will reach on air. He's at first base. Let's have runners at first and second. Keegan McCarter at second base. Stepping in, Colton Geyer. Still 1 out. Bottom of the sixth. Out of set. Here comes the pitch from Woodson. Swung on, fouled back, out of play. And no balls, 1 strike. Colton Geyer. Colton Geyer batting 286 at 419 on base. He's got 6 RBI. He has scored 9 runs. And he has 4 fielder choices. Pitch comes in outside low for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike to Geyer. Guy has been hit by pitch in this game. He had 6 hit by pitches. Team leader is Isaiah Hopkins. He's been hit 8 times. Here comes the pitch. Above his zone for a ball. 2-1 count. We were bored, 1 out for the night. First and second base. Bottom of the 6th inning. Colton back, right-handed batter spot. Working from the stretch to the set. Mikhail Woodson hits the pitch. Outside the ball. 3-1 count to Geyer. On deck for the night is number 5, Colton Minnick. Colton Minnick going to bat in the 9th spot. Should there not be a double play between? Out of seven comes pitch. Healthy cut, swing and a miss. Counts goes 3-2 to Colton Geyer. 3-2 count, 1 out, bases occupied, first and second. Peering in, looking at signals out of stretch. Mikhail Woodson checks second base. Payoff pitch. Above the zone, ball 4. The Colton Geyer would jog down to first base. Pick up 4th based on balls this season. And they're going to have a pinch runner step in. Colton Minnick going to report to the umpire. Colton Minnick has put some height on. Colton Minnick, taller than me now. We used to be about even. He's got to be at least 6'1". He'll step in, right-handed batter. Colton Minnick wears number 5. He's played in 15 games. This is number 16. Here comes a wind and a pitch. Outside, ball 1. Colton Minnick has always had a good eye at the plate, along with his brother. So bases loaded, 1-0 count to Colton Minnick. Working out a windup. Mikhail Woodson is the pitch. They're going to call that a strike. Very top of the zone. Count goes 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Minnick. And now the windup. Mikhail Woodson. Here comes the pitch. Above the zone. Ball 2. 2-1 count. Colton Minnick. Colton Minnick has batting average of 250. On base percentage, 357. 3 hits, 2 singles, 1 double. Here comes the pitch. Above the zone. Ball 3. 3-1 count to Minnick. Minnick has 2 RBI. He has scored 12 runs. 1 base on ball. Working out the wind up again. Mikhail Woodson. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Let's call that one a strike. Outside edge. It's a called strike. Count goes full at 3-2. Both feet together on the rubber. Mikhail Woodson. Here comes a 3-2 pitch to Minnick. Swung on, he'll take it to center field. It's going to be a tag up at third base. It's going to be an RBI for Minnick. Sacrifice fly, no time at bat. And coming in to score is Keegan McCarter. And might have 6 runs in here in the bottom of the 6th. Now an 11-2 contest. There are 2 out. The step to the plate for the night. Going to be number 7, Cooper Renback. Cooper Renback as South Bend St. Joe get ready for their ball game as they walk across the bleacher area. You might hear their steel cleat. Sounds like a Ben Vereen. And it's happened. We're going to have a set position, check second base, timeout call. Cooper Renback, granted timeout, he'll step back in. Let's have 2 aboard, first and second base. Now the set position, check second base. Here comes a pitch from Woodson, outside and tall for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. Cooper Renback steps back in. He's got a 750 on base percentage. Renback, he has walked 1 time. Here comes the pitch. Outside a ball. 2 balls, no strikes. The Renback. Mikhail Woodson back in the stretch, peering in, looking at Siegel. Long peer. Now the set position. Here comes the 2-0 pitch. The Renback inside a ball. 3 balls, no strike. For Renback on the season has that one base on ball. Cut back in. We're now the stretch. Now the set for Woodson. Here's the pitch. Strike called right down Meridian, top of the zone. Down goes 3-1. 3 balls, 1 strike. Game moving right along. 12:58 p.m. Second being slated for 1:30. We'll see. Here comes the 3-1 pitch. Swung on, be fouled right overhead right here. 3-2 count. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Renback about put that in my lap. Peering in, looking at Siegel. 3-2, 2 out. 2 aboard, first and second. Here comes the pitch. Going to strike him out inside edge. So Cooper Renback plucks some off, and he'll be sent back to the dugout looking. And the Knights pick up 6. You little bit. We're ball. And I love that. I for one. He was in 13 games. This is his fourth. He's won 46 play appearances, 34 of that. Second, Lafayette called right. One ball. Lafayette, I call him. Yes. And first one ball to strike. Mateo Wilson, he stepped off the back. Just that ball. In the windup, Aiden. McHale and Bale the sidewalk. And then right in where you and and so and like through and now that's going to complete game one. Round of four here in game one, Central Cap Knights. They had a Fort Wayne big Luers. And they're taking walk on play. You just have to between the momentum game two. You're probably about 45 minutes. One of them now, put me at sports will not cover. That ball game, the 145 game will not cover the Haven. Put me at 4:50 tonight for the 6:30 contest. Try to keep that source on time. Please stay tuned. Until then, no matter if you're home or away, if you're doing your teaching and the learning, don't let him go. Hey, learning. And you'll stay tuned and we'll probably talk to the sport day in just a moment. Please stay tuned.
And about good morning before they tell you're late 16. Yeah, you paid teller there the next amount for Jefferson ball game, like some good pitching and we were able to scratch the board of the crop there. And then you been going our way and making some hits and then you got into the and we will make the thing happen late. And the third game, well, that game starts at 6:30. It depends on the games here. So, you know, hope that's 6:30. Usually 6:30. We'll see what happens next game. So.